Welcome to the show. At your 10:06 after 7, hi, Kessben 92.9. Nah, ya baby, Mami faster than be ma. Tony Montana, I feel Mickey for coming up with a sports update. As your brass will say, you know, Eddie, come on. Now, a lot is happening between the Parliament of Ghana and the executive arm of government. We bring you details on that now. Yenewo Edeho and Komona and before Parliament, Jenny more for the Easter break. You know, a lot of concerns, and the Speaker of Parliament, Etimi Erezi, Ninginano, has to do with the letter free Omampenyi Atsana, directing the Clerk of Parliament on desisted from transmitting the Human Right and Family Value Sexual Bill. And Anope no Honkomo Ana Yeba Ababede. Now, it's quite worrying because we share the challenges Sadie way a creatia. I mean, a hard dream yepa. And rather, Speaker, a survey notice again, said, Kaseno, Watimi Efrizi, the approval of a year of Mampenyin nominees. Obo Wamudin said, Wamo Emra, na Wamo Emeho, the some ministries in terms of ministerial portfolios. Na Wamo managing that particular sector. And Amakwa Koyen Sembebre, because Mampenyin reshuffle no one more. Any ministers are afraid that one more bemuno. Now, when him said the appointment committee, no Efrasia, one more yomo vetting, and the Kahunina said, the Beya said, one more year approval no eba, one more bit me atake or more respective offices. Now, I feel one more Juma says, one more yeno, one more Frasia area. Now, it looks as if, sir, it's hitting the rock because Speaker of Parliament has said, sir, we're freezing the approval of those nominees. And I don't know a major concern. The majority leader, Rafenyo Maakye, is not so much happy with the development and ruling of the Speaker. And ewo efi ho no mo enti anopai ye no ebede ho enkomo na afi wonso watimi eho de ekoso kwacho ma o messages ni nyina no emra 0550596929 0550567929 eye numbers a ye de eye juma WhatsApp ana afi SMS enti fa wadwen cheri nyina no efa so na fabra ye beje na yakenkan ni nyina no e de amount dial *256*2# *256*2# na was select option 2 *256*2# na was select option 2 ewo Kessben cashpot no eso na anope ye bedraw na afe wonso yetimi aboa ama wetimi ewini some level of cash and keep it coming na wonso obenya wachefa ewom na anope wetimi aje now akwakofa nsem bebre na no aba ma yenko na yentie the speaker and before Parliament arise and come with the na afe the address I will make it and sana emrashebedwano a peja nemo yentiano na yamra.
Honorable members,
Kessben 92.9.
It's time for reflective conclusion. Several critical points emerge that underscore the importance of adhering to constitutional and legal frameworks within our democratic governance. Firstly, the President's refusal to accept the transmission of the bill is, by all accounts, not supported by the constitutional and statutory provisions that guide our legislative process. The Constitution clearly delineates the steps to be followed once a bill has been passed by Parliament, mandating the transmission of the bill to the President for assent or rejection. Therefore, the refusal to even accept the bill for consideration falls outside the legal bounds established by our constitutional framework. It is incumbent upon the President to accept the bill and take the necessary action within the prescribed constitutional limits, whether that action is assent refusal or referral to the Council of State for advice or Parliament for reconsideration. It is instructive to note that the executive has in the past proceeded with its actions, although there has been pending before the court injunction applications against the state. Secondly,
Kessben 92.9
there must be a steadfast rejection of any attempts to unduly fetter or hinder the work of Parliament. The Parliament of Ghana operates as a crucial part of our democracy, embodying the will and voice of the people. Parliament embodies the sovereign will and power of the people. Parliament embodies the might and majesty of the people. And as I keep on saying,
Kessben 92.9,
the power of the people is stronger than the people in power. Any efforts to obstruct its work, Parliament's work, disrespects this fundamental institution and threatens the principles of governance by consent and representation. Thirdly, it is imperative to remain vigilant against certain dangerous precedents that could potentially undermine the foundation of our democracy. The rejection of a bill's transmission without constitutional basis introduces a precarious deviation from established democratic practices and norms. Such actions, if left unchallenged, may embolden future attempts to circumvent the legislative process, thereby weakening the integrity and efficacy of our democratic institutions. Lastly,
92.9.
in alignment with our constitutional mandates and the principles of good governance, it is essential for the President to adhere to the lawful course of action by accepting the transmission of the bill. Upon receipt, the President has the constitutionally provided options as to what to do. I don't want to repeat it here. As we move forward, it is the collective responsibility of all branches of government and indeed all citizens to uphold the Constitution and ensure that our democratic processes are not only preserved but strengthened. The current impasse presents an opportunity for reflection and reaffirmation of our commitment to the principle of democracy, rule of law, and the unequivocal respect for the legislative process that forms the bedrock of our nation's governance.
Kessben 92.9.
Honorable members, the Parliament of Ghana will comply with the existing legal frameworks and reject the attempts by the Executive Secretary of the President through his contemptuous letter to instruct the Clerk to Parliament, an officer of Parliament whose position is recognizably under the Constitution. We shall not cease and desist. Be that as it may, honorable members, I also bring to your attention the receipt of a process from the courts titled Robson. Honorable member, I'm watching you. And I hear what you say. Be that as it may, honorable members, I also bring to your attention the receipt of a process from the courts titled Robson Nelson Eche K. Dafiamapo versus the Speaker of Parliament and the Attorney General, suit number J1/12/2024, which process was served on the 19th, that is yesterday, March 2024, and an injunction motion on notice seeking to restrain the Speaker from proceeding with the vetting and approval of the names of the persons submitted by His Excellency the President until the provisions of the Constitution are satisfied. Honorable members, in the light of this process, the House is unable to continue to consider the nominations of His Excellency the President, to use the language of the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, quote, in the spirit of upholding the rule of law, unquote, until after the determination of the application for interlocutory injunction by the Supreme Court. Honorable members, this is the precedent that is being set by His Excellency the President for all Ghanaians to follow. So any matter that comes before Parliament, any Ghanaian can issue a writ and follow it with an application for injunction, and that is enough to injunct Parliament from proceeding with the consideration of the business in the House.
Quite interesting. Boboba, na the conflict arising between the arms of government. I think your Council of State, Ewo Kromha, Peace Council as well. Ewo Kromha. We should not wait because the France here ever. At the end of the day, it is the presidency that suffers, and then the members of Parliament themselves will equally suffer because checks and balances, say anye juma or mine bread. Separation of powers, say constitution mandating all the arms of government. Edi obia mandate ashenensano. I mean, say obia ya nadwin say obey apply the mandate to the latter. Then there is going to be serious problems. Now, utie the speaker backbone kana. It should tell you clearly. Baby, a yearly dear yeko as a country. But regardless, the majority leader, the Honorable Afenyo Maakye, rose up on his feet. Now, one also say and wakai.
Which letter today, Mr. Speaker had cause to respond to? Mr. Speaker expresses his agreement regarding the content of the said letter. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker went beyond expressing this agreement and rather pronounced judgment on what in his view was wrong. Mr. Speaker did not only stop there,
92.9 FM.
he also used very unsavory words to describe Mr. President. We believe that in a democracy, we have a right to disagree on views expressed, but we do not have right
Kessben
to say things
92.9
to denigrate another. This, we think, is very unacceptable. Now let me get into the main issue. Mr. Speaker said that Mr. President was undermining democracy and that he should have resorted to the Constitution in making certain communications to the House. We in the majority beg to disagree on the position taken by him. If you carefully read the letter that was sent to Parliament, Mr. President limited himself to the processes before the courts. And the fact that Parliament itself, through an affidavit, had joined issues. Parliament has filed an affidavit in opposition and is in court. In fact, Parliament is a party to the suit. So for us, we do not see how this would have to affect the proceedings of Parliament. In any event, Mr. Speaker has always deferred to the leadership of the House to guide him in the conduct of business. This morning, the leadership of the House sat together to discuss the various items to be taken. We have finished some of them. There were some that we were supposed to take, and we were told that Mr. Speaker would have to take the chair. It's very disappointing that after Mr. Speaker had made known his own views about the letter sent from the presidency to the clerk, he adjourned the House Synod without giving room for the leadership of the House to even comment. This we find very strange. But this is a democracy. We believe, as Mr. Speaker himself said, and I'll quote him, that this impasse calls for reflection. This impasse calls for reflection. I will play that out to Mr. Speaker himself, that we all need to reflect on the way forward as a nation. He said he was not going into the matter as that would undermine the outcome of same. But we all know that the very issue that was raised by Honorable Dafemepo had to do with the continuing ministers who had been reshuffled to other ministries. The issue of constitutionality of certain nominees had been determined by way of they going through the vetting process, a report coming before the House for debate and final decision. So for me, these are two unrelated issues. How can the Dafemepo raise an issue regarding a minister who has been transferred? Let's put it in that state. That a minister in one ministry has been moved to another ministry. And the words used by Mr. President was that he has relieved them of their portfolio and moving them to another ministry. How does that affect a situation where a nominee has been referred to a appointment committee? Appointment committee has vetted that person, brought a report, and you say that there's an injunction application pending. Therefore, such a situation cannot be considered by Parliament. This is bad faith.
92.9.
This is bad faith. Because you have two unrelated issues being conjoined to create a certain political effect. But again, since this is a chamber where we will do public business, we believe that we need to reflect on these issues and sit together as stakeholders in this politics to get things done. We will rest our case, but before, let me also express disappointment at the conduct of the minority. Is it the case that they were aware of what was going to happen? Is it the case that they would always see no evil and say no evil? Is it the case that they are in support of this action to obstruct government business? they should remember that the people of Ghana are watching.
Kessben 92.9.
We have ministers who are supposed to manage ministries, to conduct public business for the benefit of the people of Ghana. What the minority has done today clearly shows that they are not on the side of democracy. Indeed, they want government business to come to a halt through their conduct, because they were nowhere ready to get us to even engage, Mr. Speaker. They were ready to pack and get to their various cars and go home. Obviously, it is a political journey they are on. They want to explore the situation to their advantage, and we believe that the good people of Ghana at the right time will know that we as MPP in government stand for progress, development, and the betterment of our democracy. Thank you so much indeed.
Kessben 92.9 Asidankwa.
That is bravery. The Honorable Appiah Maakye addressing the media on the corridors of Parliament, and after Sir Speaker making the ruling here, now the opportunity for both the majority and minority leaders not to respond now or join a sitting no concerns any the decisions, any rulings Speaker at the bar, and the Honorable Appiah Maakye addressing the press on this. But medical culture say Boba issues, a phrase here, the impasse between the two arms of government. I mean, it is becoming heated day by day, and the earlier we sustain it, the better. But me church na what me atias here. But before I meba and also no, my encounter minority leaders so the Honorable Kessela to force it
must do when Parliament passes a bill and present to His Excellency the President. The President must assent to the bill or must refuse to assent to the bill when it is presented to him as the President of the Republic. These are the only options, and in this case, there is no middle ground at all per the constitutional imperative. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also say that in the instance case of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024, President Akufo-Addo has taken a strange and alien position, which is unknown to the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. Given that Parliament has been injuncted in a matter of the President's nominee for the position of ministers and deputy ministers, it is obvious that this Honorable House is also unable and cannot approve those ministerial nominees His Excellency the President has also presented to Parliament. At this point, the President may have to be innovative, dynamic, and think out of the box by downsizing the size of his government. Let me say that merely piling on numbers by way of appointing ministers and deputy ministers does not signal to the people of Ghana that the President understands the seriousness of the mess that he and his government has created in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also say that this may be a good time for President Akufo-Addo to listen to the feedback about the size of his government. At the very least, the two top political parties, namely the NDC and the MPP, agree to downsize government size the way forward. There is an urgent need to downsize the government in order to save the taxpayers from huge cost of running the government. Already, President Mahama has signaled that in his next government, he will not appoint more than 60 ministers. Interestingly, we are also aware that the Vice President, who was part of a government that appointed 125 ministers, has come around to also promise 50 ministers. So all what we are saying is that, may I ask, ladies and gentlemen from the media, what is the prudent justification for a Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance, which with 2 deputy ministers and a Minister of State? Again, Why do we have the same ministers
Kessben
and ministers
92.9
of local government, 2 deputy ministers and a minister of state at the Ministry of Local Government? Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to conclude by saying that the Right Honourable Speaker has made an important call.
Kessben
A call for
92.9
Parliament to unite against the autocratic tendencies of our president and this government. We in the NDC minority is ready to protect the sanctity of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And we stand with the Speaker of Parliament in this. Let the President of Ghana and his government be aware that where this country is going is strange under his watch. And the NDC minority will not countenance it. But I want to add that it is obvious that His Excellency the President has breached the Constitution, and we will advise ourselves. In the coming days, don't be surprised that we will begin impeachment proceedings against the President. Thank you very much.
Interesting times ahead. 8:02. This is Kessben 92.9 on radio and Kessben television live across all platforms. Thank you so much for your time. On DSTV, we are live on channel 364, Go TV, channel 121, free to air, digital terrestrial platform. And pay unya ye live and so multi TV digibox no so and pay share and watching on pacho. If you're on social media, Kessben TV official handle and Kessben FM 92.9 as well, streaming and pay the banter between the executive arm of government and then the legislature. Quite an interesting one, but we will take our time. Now you're breaking it down. Na afe oba omaino yamamra constitution nemua the mandate of the 2 arms of government, I think sir it is time say yama Ghana fu nyina no enya musua hono ye pa. But before that, mamene Samuel Boatin eni enkomo wono eye governance and political analyst anope mamene no eni enkomo. Sare otimika, good morning and pom to say
Mr. Speaker,
now, first off, I mean, the heat coming up between the 2 arms of government, the executive and then the legislature. How healthy is this particular development for our democracy?
Let us for no for. Na arehosam se aban no nkrabata ni nyina obia dwumadi a wodi e wo man ni bia ho hia ma pona tre obia bobre obia tumi ene obia dwumadi a wodi e de boa mo omani empuntu okoso eje obia ho hia obi nsum no obi so na de ya arehosam e de ma ye kedma de ne omamu no e ye se sa nkrabata mienu die ye ga for ye to mo so ba ye ne ye tro mo de pe se omunye ene esen komo ye de ma ye sen ke ye ti ke bi ma min ke bi asipa ze to ba e di ma bi da for ni ato aba e yi mampani ne nkrofo nti omu mienu no ma se bi da for no ya ban kwa bata ba omo ne ye ene omu dwumadi omu di nyina Ghana for ye fa ne sa mamu no mo de ma Ghana for eti bi dura you be assess the performance of a Mashibiga phone. Sanso na mampeni ne nkrofo so omonso ye to abayi mampenia ye hwe ni mu se obi obebo di din se wo ye soafo ana odi dwumadie be hye ne nsa no ebedi ni se de Ghana for pe no na nye omunye ne se de omu ankasa pe na so ene akoba se ba ban krabata mienu e kontokwata na de se Ghana for ankasa na ebebre ye se o ye se okọ na sunu mienu ekun ewumu a sebi enua ne nyoma ka nkaye na aka na nebre enti democracy ni de ase ye timamufo ye nse dan ti ase ye vise e ko ye nimu ye ka bi ma min sa nyoma we nyina beba ne de nke ye good e de ma ye democracy no but over ne ye ene nyoma sebi enkrabata fo no omo ye omo ne ye no musu no omo ban na aso yan safety from omuma akoye say democracy na ya die tum say eno ne di dwuma wo man no ye hyehye ene amamu dwumadie no enkoyie enti de ekọ ana de ekọ pa de e den say democracy no bit to make dinner how at the more minor, the pay will be asking here. Oh, my Mr. Speaker.
Very well. As I say, you'll be asking here. Now, let's look at the sources, the causative effect of the air causing, you know. One, Parliament, per a year determination, pass a bill, the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024, a private member bill. One more sponsor, and I go through all the processes. Now, okay, Article 106 of the Constitution, the processes of legislation, no, I mean, the president is the final person, SSA or assente na wodin sashase na ababe yemra. Parliament aye na dwuma wie. As I said, one more call mampenya tonight na wodin sashase. Then all this while there were commentaries. President said, "Oh, bill ne kra no enyama medro me ho." But even before the bill will get to his table, now we share diplomatic community no amomo assurance. Say, I mean, they will continue to deepen the relationships. The Western countries, no, nothing is going to stop that development. Then comes again a release letter free the presidency, asking the parliament to desist from transmitting such a bill as I say, call man paying table. So now utimi edenensa eshas. I mean, the question is that procedurally, is it really something that ought to have happened? Say you be issue such a warning to the clerk of parliament, say bill no cry no emanem fam makra. At the time, I mean, in the case of Justice Abdullahi versus the Attorney General, Supreme Court, decided, they said nobody can, I mean, stop the parliament of this country from exercising and doing its work per the Constitution dictate. The source of letter anakofa sankomwe nyinano aba.
Osha court mayeti asese enkrabata no bi adwuma dia wodi ehunhia obi ani wo betimi ade obi adwuma afiri nsem obi ani wo a obetimi political undertone na political influence bia eti obi dwuma dia wodi so and krata na free aban esiemu ba ne de politically na ne hunu sem fa so obi ani so na eyade a misusu se eyadamane the integrity of legislature na nasa parliament na ye wo memu no na tutu omudwumadi ase enunti se ye ma pona se parliament nko ani timi susumra anase omohye mra owo memu no omudwumadi a mampani wotumi se odimra ne tum anase onyimra ne tum. Now politically, what is the position of the president in this case? Parliament really duma. Yamra ne say onko na wo final say e wo mranim say obedi atum anaza wonyintum eno nti say wo chole tebi babia na eya akoye say o mrama parliament na ahye no onyintum enti say ne yenje de hu mampani ana abankesi o mu position say eduma na parliament ayo mo fomu di awie na yamra pon ne hye no say enhyenimu no opa no oje atum opa onyintum no. What is the clear position of Mampeni in this context? Mampeni mi wuni bobre eni ni ginabria ema onfa bibia yi won ebize utie se de odi kanka na edi kan no emra no kra yensan kan mpo enei ade a wonsan kan de esi de na wo cho letter adirect emra se be se mo mfa samra na emeto Mampeni enim enti opposition is saying kozi kodan koda enti Mampeni ma sabi ye who the clear position if is you who the position you did separating morality as against legality and morality faith mampeni parliament in the juma and morano so mampeni who to mampeni and who the position this are conflict in the answer or how on the at the course of party they would see speaker and in the juma dia or me was prison of powers who be out to me or memoir and under 3 arms and so mu yu mudwuma yi evia amane nkrabata ba ko executive monso mo de no monso mo nye ye mum unyai wo de na wo nye no emepieti amede na maye ne so ntimi hu ne ze letter na akofa minti no wase abaye de ne hu nya sempo ye betro letter no e de akọ ema mrasi bejafo nte omo mfa be obia anazo omo mfa emra no hye bia meto mampani enti ye bestre
Can we say, sir, presidency, goofy by writing such a letter, especially the content of the letter and the choice of words. As seemingly no as a shemo we no ye catch remo say emamo fancy hakra. I mean the tonation of it, the speaker has said quite challenging. Say I mean the executive secretary to the president, will issue such a letter and then with such words in terms of the content.
Majidi Esenka or kan article now kan 1067 na the meaning say that the letter. What dear, would you make no send or Mashemran away, or power sign? Is it your map or no?
Yeah,
a young who thinks of Okaya when your lawyer knew what you are here. Mount Penny and all sign on par on sign. It is a issue warning and answer threats be to the parliament in a organ of government in a back on it. What is all the thing? Indeed, many speak I again pass letter the tone of the letter and in the first place, not letter young put it. You better let the common movie there. Oh, yes, sir. Who undermine the powers that they have? Who undermine the authority and the functions now? You may upon the moment. In the letter in the first place, many quans almost into the tone and in some new woman, dear. A yaquest said you must be your phone crown. Woman, you more your must be your few. Now, a past answer, my subject, move on a tour by years. I'm not be your phone. Some fairly dear moment visit. Obie ni hwa owo mrase be dafie ho no anede ne pe kotna ho eye mufu bi na ase o madaje ase o bre ato obeji o mu ti o matu mu e o na be dafie e mrase be dafie de na o mo ye emra na o mo hye ho o mu si timamufu na mu ho na o masa yi bibi e fe no oversight responsibility nti se ne o tro let be to undermine this three core mandate of mrase be jafo na bia. There's a one thing need any boo estefata amagana for
yes, but some and no your justification enough, say and no speak and so ebe really say the honorable Dafia Moponso Ako court challenging the size of the government and then the ministers are appointed and only a one say in a difficult time like this, as I saw man paying cut it down. The ministers now already concerned say a one minister of finance. Now you were two deputy ministers tied to the minister. Now you sanso a minister of state at the Ministry of Finance. And ministry back ministers manage one year bear and 9 econom. Oba local government and so the same thing. You were minister of state at the local government. You were minister in charge of local government and Kasanso Ewoho and San Wasanso Abani deputies. I mean, clearly no or say and no ye conflicting of duties and roles as Uncle Fuinano Ebe play. Again, he raises the concern, say we one minister. Was sector back, for instance, ebi our Greek ye move you do wako energy. Now, Omampenyi say will release you off your position as an Greek minister. In that sense, say wo kwako teki opposition at the energy ministry, the appointment committee in parliament ought to vet you so that who knowledge acquisition and then your competencies are or they manage that particular sectorial ministry. Now, in the absence of it, Dafia Mapose Supreme Court entry chimuna enyema enye clear on all these things. In that sense, one also place an injunction application say until say Supreme Court betina such an issue, Parliament must equally desist from approving the new nominees or Mampenyi Diomwaba appointment committee egusua wamoya vetting. In fact, was it vetting no krano wamunyai said yebeya until say speaker any a year Supreme Court ebenya and Saudi na afe Supreme Court in the final judgment ebeba out on some of these things, pronouncement maya. I mean, there has to be a full stop on all these matters. They say, I'm a minister, so I beg you. Yeah, approve you one more, and you almost want to mean so when you must.
When you how na ye be or move any mining to the Supreme Court never clear the size of government are going to be a emfa. I have by no tear kunyasu ne besu to say oba but on your two mina as well for the way and on
and that is very clear in the Constitution.
Exactly. And Adia Mrs. Susan Kibit Mia Kuyi Pie say a checks and balance. Enti Parliament no betumi take on executive organ say ye put him on their tools say adwuma no mamu ni na de ahye and mo je ne say betumi for the staff of government esto etiente so or Mr. Speaker obviously to do for a futu papa who from the win is a futu pa and so ni pa and offer and the size of government na honorable ni ready say and no nyina so nti ye anase yem hold appointment committee na anase ni omu dwuma ni die politically ni omu nya agene ni mum say ye take up ye put government on tools na akoyeste checks and balance be ye dwuma say ansana soafo a ono mu be dwuma no see a party to better and kan yo mo die ni nya agene but utie speaker na ye koyese mampeni se bi utwaye no ene speaker ne fa so say brema ye de bill no koma mampeni anase brema parliament yi omudwuma di wie ye se oma pass law nti mampeni nyintum na mo nyintum no mampeni the car say no say obi at the court a supreme court in the or chair the atimu be e di ene so say ya di ministers will be tumu na se be jofu no obi say ono so ntiase se ye daji o matum en the injunction but to na se be jofu no so titru ni speaker say no mutuma ni woni say e staff sabi o boni bia yi try na menne enyan so nti omumienu no the medical can acquire as no mienu na enyan tokwa ga the creative powers the basanso politically e Ghana for na sabi o ye be is ni kwasa da adampan nti emu de isusu say e de say yenya soafo mo mkoye adwuma nso enam say ye pass soafo nti yentietie mra so ana mra no muntontwini baby and ntimpanimfo no mumienu nyina no they understand the politics of the game, they understand each other and to omwankasa ntanase no omwankasa he anamo pa omwankasa at least we agree to disagree.
Yeah.
The baby no what will be an mpanimfo no state parliament we yenya no de na me hwe fi o me so be compromise no ma cooperating nti no e de na ha minority no e de na ha majority no e de na so se ka ho asem o ma se be jafie wa de mrane to no speaker yem fa mrane to se be obi abete no ho asem na Ghana for na se ye to abayi sampen you be nya gidie hu se ye to aba mo so mo mestom ye enyo o manka se ko e do mo pentu ni mentra se je minority ni ka se majority ni ka se enne obi nso so se se na nya ye tie mrane so this mu no you se ye ma ko maya de obi e kan bia wum no e be bo anti yo mu ni no kan nyina ni hu se ne pa ni mum se ye gina so say the size of government in this abana so dia court in treat the one now yen court ayinya dwumadia ye di o ma se be jefio de politically e ba sa me no munya adwene.
Very well. Sorry, I'm grateful for your time, Adopay. Why? Every wedding come BM and to somewhere obeying a governance and Samuel Boateng Facheme, a governance and political analyst, speaking to us on the sidelines of the issues between the legislature and the executive. But we'll tell you more. We'll come back na yatuye boase na yachecho and semnemo a year so that you get to understand. Now, what it means in this a year call your name no government business ebe sofa. It is a wutie afenyo marking before a woman be quasitine biano on daily basis. Other people no ewo ho a leadership of the house, both sides, minority, majority, na speaker no office, no mo nyina atena se no mo abobo ho eniema echo. The a free executive o mampanyi atena ye a pass it through the minister in charge of parliamentary affairs and the majority leader the office no abano I mean he put it on the table no mo nyina discuss it okay we beba other people no so we emma sa ne mani nyina no it is coming to suffer because speaker said moving forward no ade bi a government business Ghana ni bia so be so we akase da bi ade we ya parliament ekoye mentiase na wobekọ court ede injunction atoso no won pepere ne ho kra I mean injunction no application e call ya wo mo file suit no ede bi share wo mo nsa na eno no I mean wo mo stay put government business no ebe sofa now say recess ya wo mo kwen parliament apage ni mo okay wo mo kwa kodi Easter after Easter no and one besan so back Now, the consequential effect. Speaker said, Dafia Mwapo Akko Court. And so I place injunction on the approval of the presidential nominees I buy or Mampenyi reshuffle one more was some positions. For instance, Deputy Minister of Information, Wabene Substantive Minister, and so called na appointment committee no evetino. Se recess your mwakwe, ahomijie mwa wamukwe. Se wamubedi busumi mienu a, it means se busumi mienu ni nyina no, or Mampenyi nominees nya adi ombetimi aye adwuma as substantive ministers. Ya approve womo. Enti womo position no, any womo office no womo ntimi take charge. Now the question is that how many months anaka mo Mampenyi Nana Danko Ekufuado edi na memwe nyina no edi abawe. I mean, these are some of the challenges. Say yes, setting the wrong precedent. Enyema we no ebeba. At the end of the day, Parliament best offer, executive most mo best offer. A lot about mo businesses are mo de beni nyina no mo best offer. Then the consequential effect is on you and I. No enemy. Yen your best offer. Ghana for nyina best offer. Because at the end of the day, Ministry of Information da ho, na minister ni ho. Okay? Your friend is saying Greater Accra region. Titus Glover. Anna Ebabe replace your friend is saying Henry Korte. Ababe regional minister. What it means is that you approve it Titus Glover. And the Greater Accra say you can say you're regional minister. Henry Korte na kasanso Emoviko Ministry of Interior. Okay? And you know, these are some of the lapses Ebeba. The challenges in the system, the governance structure, and the flow. Between a Juma executive and the legislature quite interesting. But Mamin Koye Jumambra, yeba more details on issues the Peace Council and also Ababe tuteless a year institution wamuntimi nyahe entimi nkahe eni obi ankasa wamti hosa aso wamti hosa yen twensa ade we be escalate and sand akofa problems aba. Okay, the Council of State wo ho enti no the air question I mean consequential effect oye den ya ebeba, but all the same mamin koye adwuma mpacho dial star 256 star 2 hash star 256 star 2 hash na was select option 2 ewo Kessben Cashport eso star 256 star 2 hash star 256 star 2 hash na was select option 2 na anopay Julius Atenase every Fidico Poultry and Animal Feed Center for asweye meneno eba ababedi enkomo. Julius, morning and saying
Daddy Adom
Empombo
Enyobokosa.
Oze
Enyobokosa, Enyobokosa.
I don't know man Enyoboko.
Me kind documentary bina ama Majini na ye basa. Unim say from last month, that's 12th of February, to the 15th of this month, egg laying production is what by 80% of farmers egg laying capacity is what.
Oh, that
yeah.
When
layers 80%, yes, 80% of Ghanaian layer farmers egg laying capacity Eswati. That is from February to this month. University of Ghana students will be here that particular survey. And it's very shocking. Now, my main cousin mentioned when him say as at last year, now 51.4% of the egg we consume in Ghana, not in free Ghana, not in free Burkina and in Nigeria.
I see.
That means that your farmers need to and supply it to the capacity, to the capacity of our people. And it's very scary. It's very scary. So we have two factors and a money bar. The very first factor is a feeding factor. It is a crucial factor to the laying of the eggs. Nana say when didi and drum pempen so didi drew laying of eggs na emba. One here obedi dia trope na ontun kosuakra boyeleya.
Ye must see kosuanemba.
En kosuanemba. And it's say you concentrate on the feed ingredients ni. Now unim ne ama this particular period yenye laying of eggs as what ten say one enuane bi to say soya bean.
Yeah.
A shorty wa Ghana.
Soya bean a shorty.
Soya bean a shorty. First now ujina akoma dan ujina techimaya ubenye bi. But see an ade say woko tumu from Techiman to Tumu is like 6 hours drive. Wow. And now say oko outside Ghana and say when you soya bean. And into the big industries na form kakrane wonum whether it is good or it is bad. So omo de ba eto de bia content na omo de aba no e wo aflatoxin wom. Eto de bia and the moisture content na good. Na so obeye ni cold crash no the amount. Omo ye process not omo ye cold crash na so omo meliwia uhu say so ya. No mo de afraid ediane no. That is the reason why you need to get our premix nana. Ghana for farmers, every farmer in Ghana, you need to come to Fidico. You need to ask of Gizim Kimia. No, SSL back Fidico. What was it? Your premix is like spices, normal spices. FDA, Asanya say, a kama, a very healthy, Emma Moano. That is the first thing. Secondly, a very healthy. The third thing is that premix say what Ghana ni na a bien ni honoma, a what. And yani nobi to say lysine, and yani nobi to say methionine, and yani nobi to say toxin binder. A BNB womb. Ghana has a personally my farming for a while. Now Ghana has a adebako me who about premix or Ghana has in Nana say premix ni na the highest point of expiry 1 year pe. Yet they need 3 years. And son I expire.
And you talk about a sevu sika. A sevu sika. Me you check.
That is the thing. And then you know near kama. Now, lysine a bois protein it me boy break down the protein contents very well. Of which auto other premixer you will have to buy lysine again. You will have Now, the second factor, person me can want me the number not to Ghana say. The second factor is say, oko baby say Nigeria and Burkina Faso. Obehu a boy kesi a boy young tam. No mo the AC mo so we busa won sa dentia. Customer corner so okoton kosua na customer net bench ase e wo duase. Nanso enkoko no mu tun kosua no. Your mom AC thermo AC kesi ni bi na de si omo so. Let me tell you the reason why omo yesa Burkina in Nigeria. It is because lay eggs they produce heat. It's after they produce their egg, as I say, akoko no etimi cool it down and send the next production asamba. Okay. And it's say obi beti am cool it down in 2 hours. After 2 hours, or lay another eggs.
I see.
So they will train 24 hours until Becca say, oh, they be able to go share back.
And what it means is that our system no cry no ebua and cocono system no ama wamu to meto. I mean and tentem. Nana anka nya sembinti anka say eko kra nkusia every Burkina. We are better na boko. Ama farm philosopher semi. Entimi na boko kweni philosopher. Na matia semwe metio mangana mu me wonim die we ni na me mangana. Kwa brochi akokra enya brochi mpo kafra Burkina very scary. It is very scary. 54% aden there's a half so we have to give them the relevant ingredients. Nana bo medjuma no moye no nana ye kan ye concentrate na e bi mo dwen say enro say na no kan ye no me say it's spicing up spices ingredients this spicy up aduane no etine say unya lysine kakra e de fra we de lysine ni won bi ento unhia fanfra onkotofo lysine so boarding bag back on the number 700 Ghana. We are saving you 700 cedis of money. And above all, you are cheap in the market. I see. I see. Yamra broiler premix, no, eso.
Nana, say during this Ramadan season, obi eba shop, ewo Fidico, so ope these things, ope brella premix. No, cause here before Ramadan. And I'm catching and say, maybe take this particular ingredient, add it to your feed, and see how the brella boost up. But on tunko it will fana. You want the time rate as soon ya yama Ramadan, ya yama bronya, ya yama Easter, ya yarinam. And as I say, the relevant ingredients home. Now, yenye premix no. lysine wom say na big kan and e content bi my friend amino acid say na no me kan no say nipa ka didi a ebi mu ho no ma won omo didi a omo ntimi break it down the protein content no it is oko checking the fact the cholesterol level the cholesterol no was so afon una nipa tian so the cholesterol no was so many way tie na ye modu kama na so ko na bi na ye de no form the reason why they say e bi ye de na ye protein ankasa
okay
so ye de na protein ankasa that means that your system no etimi synchronize amino acid na eba ye mu no na mum say etimi synchronize na that means that etimi break it down into fact so what's it doing udidia na say pie
nutrients and
that is why you need our premix. Papa, I say Ghana phone na fidiko ne. You need to get our premix. Baby, we can do delivery. You can say na mene Papa fidiko kasa no pay. And o ka say cost na ba ne doso e fidiso. Ebi free techiman, ebi free nyampandere, ebi free tumu, ebi free kumasi edoso. Etina so obi pese oye distributor wherever you are. With your contact yen. We will help organize things for you. We will make it very suitable for you.
Yes, I don't know to boss. Say obi tie yen. Na opese oye distributor. Ewo region foforo a enye Greater Accra. Edema fidiko offer that opportunity no.
That opportunity is opened. In fact, say Accra mpona say bia baby se kaswa, baby se tema, baby no. We will check if you don't have a supplier at that particular jurisdiction. We'll make you a supplier there. And this an obi here fidiko nye bia brings him came ya nye bia no. Say a toxic binder, say a brella premix, say a kind of saying layer premix, say a swine premix. Nini na no will direct them to your shop. And the crabwa and my near ka woton to say soya bean meal, rice brand, PKC, orange star shells. Nini na no because we are directing customers. Literally we are doing adverts for you, free adverts.
Very well. And one more what Bono is. Bono ahafo one more Western North. One more person me distributors no. One more ni nkomo. Julius, but for numbers need to do na obi tie mpacho ebia wo shop. O pese o ye insianemo edema fidiko a ofre wo mo a wo mo na obekasa na afi wagye niema ne bi na wato de hia ne so obedi no kre e de ama fidiko sika obejo no eye kakra bi na o supply niema ne bebre na no e de ama na watimi aton e wo ho because wo mo say course na eba from all parts of the country no edoso enti but of numbers need to do na obi person ye distributor watimi afremo.
Nana numbers near 0244 26 01 90 0244 26 01 90 and 0242 769 698 0242 769 698 Nana so ohia so betimi by your head office ewo aman here tobu from the Tobu to our site is like 1 minute 2 minutes drive. Udo ye wo kwan wo pe ubo ye billboard kase nice building ye shemsa. Na me shira.
Very well. Enti pacho se wo hia fidi ko se obeye distributor anopay fe wo mo no obeye nhihye ni nyina wo shop e wo ho opese wo job ni ma ne bi eton e wo region nim wo mo be direct traffic ni nyina obi obe free sa region ni mo bia no wo mo be direct no e de no aba wo ho na afi watimi aton wo mo ni ma ne bi pacho ma misi mo numbers ni so biem emfa 0242 769698 0242 769698 and after 0244 260190 and after office line no 0303 958583 na oni eye fidiko poultry and animal feed for any enkomo. Julius, I'm grateful. I don't pay Nyamisha.
Nyamisha was another.
Nothing that stop me from loving you. But the only thing in this world that stop me from loving you is when you cheat on me, is when you betray me, and you break my heart. Alright. Follow
But you have faster than it be Zico Plus Enterprise now, and I'll pay one more abwire. Zico Plus, a company back, one more team of mechanical engineers. Now, and I'll pay when you want to come out. Umfidia Kessia would the year Juma problems about when you any fault. I don't think when Jesse Honomwa. A Kankuan and Debra on the Pachado Pay, so wouldn't fit Zico Plus Enterprise for heading Koma. But German, one bedroom so associating in Ano at the amount. Now, the teacher Pachosa would hear me, will be a ensure when Jumana will so we try bottle water, sachet water, and we try a tom with Pacho. With treatment plant, a woman with treating Sioning in Ano, the friend reverse osmosis machine, and a treatment plant, Pacho Essaya, Fidico for NCS in Ano and Fama. A fay, Yamudi trap bottle, no, a modi bottle, no, Yamudi sachet, rabano, packaging in Ano, and a pay, say, offer Fidico for Pacho, one will be routine maintenance in Ano at the amount. Say, a friend soon, our person will crabby at the bank when they were more any and come out. Now, Zico Plus Enterprise for Pacho, one the mouse specification, a correct bar. I will be to me, I shall so at the Acrabia bar, or bar, one will be installation in at the amount, no more fixing it, come. Problem be about one more Casanso, Ebesanso, Ababa, at the amount. And open Pacho, only Zico Plus for any income. I feel more running laundry businesses, now more heavy industrial washing machines. I'm a year, Jumani and Pacho say, I have 40 for Zico Plus Enterprise for now, one more share NCC in Ano and Fama. One more bow, I'm waiting me as a Vosikapa. Say, Oban Kraya, one more Ewa Taifa Junction, Sportem, a ho Anna Obehu, one more for one more on 055 0500 616319 0500 616319 and after 0540 526163 na only a Zico Plus Enterprise for any enkomo anope na wamo ebeje wo so pa mamenko ahomane so na mene Professor Smart Sapon enko ye jumai emra na I mean for some time now the issue about running mate to Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, the Vice President and candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Ababaye, a very interesting one. All over the country, no weekend the party, no airco regions, no munina na womotimi I inaugurate a year one regional campaign teams. We are told say and greater Accra for a year one more there Ochina Friday Central Region for Ebeyo there on Saturday Oko a year the Western and Western North regions are womunina no ebe inaugurate. But the big question is when is Dr. Bawumia going to select a running mate? Professor Smart Sapon aye Juma e was an komodie ho a meneno ebabeche nimdiano. Prof, good morning and Pombo there.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, Major Son of Pay, Major Monsomo,
Yansu Yahoya pa, na huni ho wache.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, here you go.
Diana Abesraya, na yedia no enti many why. Very well, but Mamintio, the question of running mate for the Vice President, when is timely enough, say party no any candidate know himself ebetimi and name somebody because it looks as if say Brenny Kwa Neko and so yet Yantishi in free the camp of the candidate ho.
Well, Zafika, I'm a pay message to Asibiona Meden Shaka Siama and Ebusia Ajibriti, Esha, and none of pay. Yema Obibiachi. So far so good. I'm a new quack a CM in Naya Boabom, Hosenia in Naimino. Na oye analysis no obia wo bibia oye nyata ebiomu hokwa nti no wo hwe NPP for example unless na wa wo kano from this week I go see I think next week before March will end year regional and constituency level campaign teams are ready, national are ready, manifesto and for so are ready. NPP so can ho nema bebre NDC so say na enyina enim no obapao maame Jane opoko ajiman say onu to me running mate ema flag bearer e wo mu say omuma yi flag bearer running mate there but omusu nema bebre ho no mu nyanye as compared to the MPP for so ye no ni mienu no de toto ho a The flag bearer is a member of the campaign team. The running mate is a member of the campaign team. And so the campaign team needs to be formed so that where we are a flag bearer and a running mate, we are automatically you operate along the campaign team. What is right? I think that the MPP is doing more in terms of the campaign than the NDC because flag bearer and way, but the operation, the wheel, machine, no, a big movie campaign, no flag bearer and running mate, no, I ride on no. I'm so Muguswa, Omusha Deba, into no. Yeah, Obia on the Nimkakrana, Obi was something lagging behind. MPP, the choice of the running mate, and say, no, na aka. Nanka campaign structure ni na edimu but eno kwanya maye no say no mu ye no so very very important structure so that whoever becomes the running mate will just flow along with the wheeler structure no ever share their man.
Quite interesting. Now in selection of a running mate, what are some of the key indicators SSA candidate any party share before we even come to the regional basis analysis? Na ye baby say region ben SSA candidate efriba ethnicity ben and ethnic group ben SSA omo free mo eba regions ben a contributed to vote in the akeka ka ho nyina.
Well, running mate akoye osumajuma ode ba besum o flag bearer. Intiana the first thing I share nipa no ahobua waye anase nisuni ne ban de say onimosom say watchre in your life unyine de ba na adwuma waye na opportunity wanya ni nyina na so timi kire say ahane ha me kire say me yosomfo to know the bata wo ho a metimi asom and we share the nations ayinso aya na niema bi honom a ye mayeto so aba na ebi so honom dia ye nto so aba ye appointed se bata ye appointed dia na say ye di be balance bibi sa bata honom ma bibi kodi fa ba ko a appointment no be ma a balance sa ade nti aya ye hwe the national balance nso a seta nipa no etimi de ba.
Okay.
Sisi enu a flag bearership ni enu ni nyina kokodi the northern part of the country media. Let's just say necessarily running mate to southern part.
Okay.
Southern part, and they are most likely say MPP before the southern part to balance out the national outlook. And maybe finally, Obeshe interest that you may want to satisfy.
Okay.
The apartment some the necessary nature of self balance so ne form no so a certain interest be our person or satisfy obeka obi be say there you way because this person has this particular skill or the ba be boame
yes no me bisa no say especially when it comes to the interest one should it be an interest say we no a party ni a party for begina tum and now assume way or belonging to this particular religious group and now so say I mean share on one kasani near ma waya ebia this faction within the party and assess a page frame should all of that come into consideration when it comes to interest considerations I can what I mean.
Good. So offer interest no.
Yes.
Obeti me aye say ebia sanya wo kan you the balance of some. And we know you the neba na dance dia nipa wo won ho ne bra or dia boa e kire say ofisa or sum ko we mundi. The interest to be religion and not necessarily so free north and now free south. Interest living so ebetimi aye say ebia Ghana ha ye wa hai the recent census tells us say regions ni bi hono mo a ma do so say mema.
Yeah.
And overall, no crowd, so the mad also say member, but my for a few days educated says, overall, man also say member, the origins people Ghana, so a member also say, just that, strike average, no, and they are now a man, no, also saying member. Or they solve it a certain that interest group, will be creative, make of Sebi, because a person living with disability. to address that interest, to tell the people, say, Sabe, you are included.
Okay.
Regional minister, Joseph, now a person living with disability, just to drive home the interest of those persons living with disability. A bad interest, it goes beyond or some another regional balance or national balance. Now, about the specific needs of the people and who can best represent those interest groups in the country.
Now, let's come to the specifics. Meaning, say, why a lot of research when it comes to this whole Nkomo Yedi. Specifically, maybe a NPP Juna say, as I say, running mate, every the southern part of the country, because candidate, every north. Say, say, Region Bay, and as I said, Dr. Bawumia, Eshe, now we ne running mate every more.
Well, may assure me, na other interest groups and so, may assure say, by now, one more assembly form could sit down on which region the vice presidential candidate, now as a running mate, should be coming from. Now over 62% of respondents across the country in Nanka running mate in a free Ashanti region.
Okay.
In fact, any Ashanti is over 62%. Any Ashanti. And even when you analyze it by region, the western region, the eastern region, or the southern regions, it looks like there is some unanimity in Kabumbiaba. It has to be any Ashanti. In fact, there are those in the remaining percentage crowd there who go ahead to meet the body. But they are in the minority. The majority, which is over 62%, thinks any Ashanti.
I see. And any Ashanti, that means consolidating the base of the party. In that sense, that is where majority of NPP vote Afriba. And they feel as it's almost satisfied, right?
Right. They are so sure that the Nipan Ashanti. In fact, there are people who even went ahead to mention names. Now, in the mention of the names,
yes, no so na ya share the gender specifics, na ya share the personalities involved, because just as you have said, no respondent no masa. Enti say Ashanti regional, we have a lot of prominent figures. One more party name from the Ashanti region. Can you give me some of the names out of one Kasal research, about out na yeni eno Hong Kong?
Well, any Ashanti Emema and 9 and now Baba, 5 names were prominent. In order of their appearance.
Okay. Randomly, yes.
Randomly. Emema and 9 or Baba, the name, some of the names we all know. If you want more, almost any Ashanti, if you any Ashanti, they were Modi, but me, I'm Modi, that's the go. Napo.
And Napo di wo
Napo di ka ho.
Okay.
And now this one more any or say we do chum. No abo.
Education minister.
The manual. Nti dana or say we do chum Napo. If you okra or say honorable Dr. Kokofu no so the biofili bano also as a former chairman as a that obetumi say dia abo ni din.
Former Bantama MP.
Okay. Honorable Dr. Kokofu. Environmental Protection EPA for pending.
Yes.
Na yabo. Honorable Joe Wise. And then Joe Wise. And what you have on the team for Joe Wise and no who is your candidacy.
Be quiet.
I say, yeah, Naya Mambe, Shema operate and should do them. In fact, so far, no money or bar begin appear a war. Any Ashanti and a topic. And if it is any Ashanti, the name that defeat is those. In fact, in research, definitely you would have it represented. In fact, there are even people suggestions that the person should come from voter region. Now, and reduce the NDC's impact in the voter region. Because, only yes, you could use central region. Then, Mahama, you need the central region. Because, but those minor ones are in the minimum. Less than 5% have spread across other interest areas. But so when you are 16 regions, now over 62% think that it should come from Ashanti regional. It is worth discussing. In research, and yet results are discussed, but those are strikes.
We're discussing. The more reason why I not pay, you're undertaking this particular exercise. Now, let's zoom in. Now, yen lower conversation in our down. Again, Moankasa researchers, and Maakye Appiah every 4 years, election will come with different dynamics. Say with different dynamics, as I say, with a different approach, what they be called into that election. Say, cast will mind around. Now we share Juma Awaye. We share the political climate, or compared to the NDC. Ora John Dramani Mahama has found faith with Professor Jenana Opoku-Agyeman. When in the call 2020 victory wasanso affirming the trust and confidence in Prof. Say wasanso ne nakobiem in 2024. Baby awaye adwuma ababedro no. What sort of personality in terms of gender Anna Dr. Bawumia ehia? We hear say we be choose oba as running mate, and I will be yi Bema as running mate.
Well, Mr. Speaker, you be jaya no ama omampani abudesi na wase, but yeah analysis no. So you find oba to oba, and unfortunately for him, in the list of the preferred women, no, enter Obaku Omua of Strike, both as a woman and then from Ashanti region. Okay. The current chief of staff, Mama Fema Opare. So if you want to do the analysis very well, then you would want to analyze or know Mama Fema Opare against Professor Jane. In fact, one thing I'm for the Brian official as a woman. And they say, University at Church. Yes. The two of them are all university professors, university lecturers. And Mama Tremor Paris Free, a Jumani Muntam, representing the man for. And the woman in University at Church. That's about putting them more Kubi and about putting a man for a name of parliament very early in our political discussion.
And comparatively, no, woman you know try they were university, but also a vice chancellor pay. Again, no, even in politics, Mami Fremont Pare Abaye chief of staff, but Prof also Abaye minister in charge of education. And head to head, they are almost at par.
The highest ever level university lecturer do. To become a professor, you don't necessarily have to become the vice chancellor, but to become a professor is the highest level.
Okay.
In fact, we're crossing the highest level, to a level of a chief of staff. In fact, chief of staff, look at the Abani some minister who don't have to do minister so can go to a trip.
Exactly.
Minister chief no. So it's an enviable position now. Just as to be a vice chancellor is an enviable position. Mama Fema Parenso to become a chief of staff. Now we're rising through the ranks into Ebano educational. Odawa kakra. Mama Jane Odawa kakra. But Ebano discussion ye say being a flag bearer running mate. Politics, pure politics there. And I think the discussion will go more in favor of Mama Fremont Pare than Madam Jane.
Because I don't know why a grassroots politics, from becoming a candidate, why was so west to a goal, Wababe Winnie as 2-time parliamentary member of parliament for the constituency, and what rise there. Okay, so in terms of politics, a bit favor or no kakra more than Prof. I want to actively.
struggles are Mama Jane fair the first time or by any now the charisma was not there on to me and Yamanfo be the craft of Sabia Gamawa Moa President Mahama campaign then those initial struggles Mama Pare will not have those challenges or not more able to because from the grassroots she has actually been part. So now if you said Mama Pare lead the campaign maybe as a home popo on to me charisma or say because we need the first time and a band of political analysis of the two women there and Mama Pare will be way ahead and will be a will say the difficulty that a first timer like Mama Jane will go through Mama Pare would not need to go through all those things. We need everything politics, we need everything grassroots politics. Now my main country man for say okay I was so west so gone Sikafo then because how do him ho
yeah
me dan no abroke enim no na we are fadan na chia e na abehu
ene ma wo ho
yeah go to Labalation, go to some of the areas over there and you will see real
poverty
people.
Yeah.
I think in political analysis, the two of them Mama Pare were way ahead of Mama Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman.
But it will be interesting to see the two of them on political campaign platforms and then see them probably have a debate sharing their experiences in life. Head to head. Now,
you are calling for a very interesting debate, Mr. Speaker, because they will start from the university.
Yes.
Mama Pare from University of Ghana and Mama Jane Opoku-Agyeman from
University of Cape Coast. Yeah.
It will be interesting. So once they settle themselves on the university's corner, that's where TSC politics, and that is where some of the questions may be quite difficult for Mama Jane because Sebi. Unrepresented constituency biada, but at least talk of Mama Pare, he has represented not 1 term. I think it was even more than 2 terms or so. And on one we all know how all of these things will be. An interesting debate, but here after the flag bearer has nominated on the first work for care to do or pray about is to catch the eye of the flag bearer who I know believes in women empowerment. I know him somehow in Mikakra. Only life social protection person, human centered person. Within the birthday cry, I should have selected vulnerable groups being no more celebrity birthday na boom ni and I'm sure he would have a certain space for women and women empowerment and all those things. But hey,
very well.
You will require of him to name his running then this debate you are calling for, we can't wait to see this debate
happen. Yes, but interesting. My last 2 questions. Now, yes, Prof. In terms of age, Mami Fremo Pare as Oba any Prof as Oba one so John Dramani Mahama say Ubo Mami Fremo Pare dia a lot comes in with the issue of age. Sir Eninafa again position I want Kasawakasi when you as chief of staff no a enviable position where Dibia a year and Kawon corner of so any other opportunity. Now afe yemra mema no woman so predominate ewo Ashanti region no and the few words you can say about them as well not yen fancy.
Age dear Kessben 92.9FM opportunity better no obedience to them, obedience to Ekaka, Nako Yame, and say, and Yaman Posse, Obedru Sabri, Ababu Mangana was our kind of swat. Yamashe Mone Bianca were in Roho. Nina, this year with Ahmodia, Namede Bedomo, and sometimes we have done to Kufuadua. So they are his age, and then they move to me. And one take the nominee, Maba, the Grant to me, yo. And the age is a good factor if we are selecting a running mate. But the CFS said, if I know what and now we are to select a 30-year or a 40-year-old person, as compared to a 70 or 60-year-old person, I think that compare no between our campaign, age perhaps may be considered as a secondary matter.
Very well.
With the national politics, free. In Canada, catch us in my Blom. Politics of your age, my Blom. If I acquire a dreaming young Tajuma, and yet the DNA no man to come any politics in 2024, modern day politics has become a dreaming any young fire. And Senipani is very smart. He doesn't need to be masculine or physically strong. Oko China and Asia, baby. Let the soldier be child say, we need to get near. But try him. Try him. I bet you say, and yet, a DNA on no matter. And then yet, they didn't get him. A dreaming any young son. So I personally beg to differ when it comes to, say, we are politics, maybe a term, and ye. The nation says, I believe the other politics. So, Nipan will Yamia more day. Not a what Jenny, Nyan, Sergeant, or Kenny, Nijay, Mayelika Blomo. At least that can be a very good idea. And then nowadays, we bear the score point. But now, so you need the ato. Now, also, the Virgin announced with now. No, there. The facade in the year. Yamima, more than say when you so. No, my training young fire, you bet me. The Diabwa would be baby, will be the best answer.
Very well.
My counsel is so dear, fair. And my man also dear, this game has become men's game for a long time. And all we pray is that they slow down.
But a man, why they lead the chat, you know, Ashanti region, is it Napo, Dr. Duchum, Joe Weiss, and I also said Dr. Kokofu, just as you mentioned, the four of them.
In fact, carefully, I decided not to rank.
Okay. So
that it doesn't give any impression or idea different from the Vice President's own research. And I think of one sort of more at the forefront in this same interest. In fact, the American Crown, the Gusua some evaluation analysis of these 5 people, 1 woman and 4 men here, and on a good day, maybe before the Vice President announces, I can come up with those evaluations. But me never no trust me. Me in such a way that there will be competitive advantage because the final decision will have to be made by the flag bearer, who in consultation with the council will come up with a suitable idea. The idea is to inform and wipe out the interest of the people. That's all. One can say Tibia. The best thing in common echo na abwa ewo na Genesia obesi see kakra be can remember. I don't want to rank them, but I mean Napo is a household name in Ashanti. Otaye Wedichun is a household name in Ashanti. Penny Kokofu is a household name in Ashanti. Joe Weiss is a household name in Ashanti. Wolumina Ghana for bebre no animum, any new my penny the umbetinya. Omudimosum, from one person to the other. Any so many Akwanyanoa, near almost umbetinya the ticket of the MPP in terms of voter mobilization. We wish all of them very well, including Mama Femo Pari very well. Omumu Bia, the Bayer Kaye can grant. If the president, the vice president has made a decision already or not, we don't know. But I'm sure should be that type of person now. Or some now we're mobilizing votes at the Abua MPP in the performance of their performing in the coming election. I think very well.
Interestingly, no, the 2 candidates. Ora John Mahama and Ora Baumia within the same age bracket. Woman you was 60-something years. Obanso say a ban say koye man and so Mami Femo Pare 5th June 1947. She will be 77 years by this year, June. And Professor Jane Nano Pokwajeman so 22nd November 1951. And she will equally be 73 years. this year. And in the same age bracket. Now, quite intriguing, no? All around the world, say candidate no AOB and the age no form one. Mostly no, woman so select you be Nymphia no a name. Now that is the little we have equally done. Prof, I don't pay me that in Yami Insha.
In fact, in America, so their account the year said there are a lot of countries, at least about 5 of them presidents, new prime ministers, new carefully have been selected to be women, and women within that age bracket here. Okay. Ellen Johnson, and then South Korea, then there are a lot of lessons we can learn in getting women to come to the front. And so no kind of Barbados, the women did not disgrace themselves; they distinguished themselves largely. And politics has usually become member Adi, but we can keep having a conversation about a man inclusion with these fine lessons from elsewhere to inform our going forward.
Very well. Prof, I don't pay me so much. And Professor Smart Sapo and Meneno Eddie and Komono, ne researcher, why Andra yenye bi eka ye ene baby a running mate issues no echo no no pay yene no edi ho enkombo no pacho dial star 256 star 2 hash star 256 star 2 hash na was select option 2 no na onso wetwebi na anopay onso betumi win some cash pacho ye de draw no e de beba sisia mama masa yimachi na mema na kwaba in free bay port savings and loans for aseye obey mamachi.
You know, Mr. Speaker.
Na bomb to say.
Radiadum boko na pa.
Bayport for Radiadum menso me ho ye pa. Bayport for ho ye.
Radiadum bibia ekoso kama.
Very well. Yeah, that trade am po ase. I don't pay our baby dem sem komo bebre wo ho. Enti de di kan no, mame emu akwanya no na mintio.
Yo, me fa sa akwanya so de chia Kessben 92.9FM ne ahwefo nyina na yabo abaso wo adwuma pa wo ye ho. Ye koso tie o na yehunu unyuma pano na yebo abaso ni team ni nyina ye ba ya Bayport fixed deposit nkomo na anape ya ba ye pese yebo boso na afi omo ni ye di dwuma no omanya rehye sa ampa Bayport da so gina ne nan so na afi omo a emba ye no nso no omo nso aba na ye ne omo edi nkita ho se de ni adada fo no ye di no.
Very well, but I say, and my young to your boss, now young five issues, no one after the other. Bayport fixed deposit investment account, and no, you can't a DNA na obi here to be a holder of such an account.
Yo, you can say Bayport fixed deposit account now. Accounts will be with this account to Emra yedi 2 months, you were 3 months. It was 6 months and 1 year.
Okay.
Na a free 5,000 echo any day. Na interest winya wo hono so de toto their other financial institutions man Bayport there near strong kokra.
Okay.
And intino fixed deposit investment ne ye say we sika to account mu. Ekope membre bi na bank na tua interest anamfa so ai konenim aka usika no ho amao. Yes.
Enti bosume miensa ana afeba ko.
Yes.
Sika he ana obi betime e de enyasa investment account bi.
Okay, enti ye de no ye wo no every 5,000 echo.
Okay.
Ha, enti no say we ankra we asori we dwumaku opese we a beneficiary of this investment here, a free 5,000 echo. But akwenya nso wo ho se obre sika eko nenim nso a ye negotiations ne ade ema wo offer ebema wo sika no mfa so a obenya
offer ne in terms of interest
na obenya no se o ma sika eko nenim a etumi no tena ase na ye negotiations ni ye se de be ya mfa so a obenya no ebe ye de awo ankasa nso pe. Yes.
Very well. Enti eno ne sa no esese nipa no awoba ababe investment ni yo bia ono no ewo account dada ewo Bayport ana se obi etie ono no a wonye oni Bayport eni twaka bia I mean woni mo nida otiase but obetimi ababe bia na
yo akwenya ɛwɔ hɔ ma obia deɛ ɛyɛ requirement ane sɛ ɛsɛ woyɛ obi a wɔ Ghana card.
Okay.
Because Bayport Bank of Ghana regulate na emra omde amaya omse yemfa anya adwuma no ene ne sɛ obi a ɔpɛ sɛ ɔyɛ transaction bia ɛwɔ Bayport na so onya Ghana card. Nti wo Ghana card a yebibie account amawo. Sa account na yebibie no anumu na yede be fixed deposit no.
Okay.
Nti once you wo Ghana card nko ade a na we nya 18 years and above a o qualify say obibie account na afei ya yes our fixed deposit be amount. Yes.
Very well. And those are the basic requirements. But you say obi tie ya ni a hefa na obenyamo na afei de hobia na ode ato aso.
Yo ebia ye kasa obi be pese obenya nkyiremu foforo obebise mu yie ana ye mbra na so ye opese oba ye ho a ondin kan frɛ ye numbers a ya project wo TV no so no obetumi afa ana so se wutie o radio so a 0245 15 32 83 0245 15 32 83 ana obetumi so afre 0244 639 453 0244 639 453
Yes. Na ebano groups one more year corporate unions, one more year association, one more year fan clubs, one more year teacher unions, any the keka kahoni nyinano, are they equally supposed to be part of this? And I say more consider business women, any businessmen kwa.
Yo, me pacho me da say. Omu nyina sa category si a obobo nyina omumu nyina no akwenya o mo bia say a union, old students associations. Say sorry, say fund management company, say oye businessman, say wa so owo company a owo sikebi da ho a opese ode hye bebia asumbe wo ho a obenya mfaso a eye kama no aha ekonya no wo ho ma safo ni nyina enti no yensem once moye group a magia to ma mo pese mo ne yedi nsa so no mo frɛ a eno de kwan bia so ebetumi ahwɛ nhyehyɛ ne mo bɛ ya ebɛboa m na mo nso mfaso e wo Bayport fixed deposit mo nso wanya bi enti ma men santi na mes nim biom na me ma ye direction to your office no na
okay
ye fancy enti na mes ne ye 0245 15 32 83 ana say 0244 639 453 yes ena okay. Accra ha no o peyechi akwan a ye ben ATTC training school na ewo kokomlemle no nti wo de o begina ATTC school na nimpo na ofre a free e ho ba e ho no ya na mo just 20 meters walk bi na wabana ye no ayen hyehyɛ no kama
very well I don't pay me that say manager
yeah me nso me that say
tough bow what your theory now what's select option 2 quarter after 9 mami faster than be my Emma's Global Link Limited for now I don't pay one more dom one more daroba one more boy pa Emma's Global Link Limited for daroba pacho one more do be too quite far akwa kopie wo mind bia wo pese wo kombo I don't pay say wo tie me we student and this year ni wo pese wo kwata wa this year so wa manania yes say we nyina no and say woni aya Emma's Global Link Limited for any komo pacho schools no applications no be ni nyina the amount afi wo mo wia documentation bia say wo mo ye boa bia no wo mo be ni nyina no e the account afi wo tie me open work permit open residential permit I bet me aboa mo akotena monani aye adwuma pacho ni nyina hyehyɛ no Emma's Global Link Limited and say we need more edin komo also our person will migrate what a Ghana our person to kwan eco Asia oko Europe oko America baby a person ko wi ase afana baby a anope woni Emma's Global Link Limited for any combo open adoption open say ya ware ho hwehwe de ma open citizenship application assistance ni nyina no Emma's Global Link Limited for other Roma kwacho won be hwehwe ni nyina anope agisa wanko woni omuni nkomo na mo bejo so kwacho wo kuma ase ne mpatamu akoleba asafo ho ana wo be ho wo mo ne senator office ne din hwe ne mo e wasafo kuma ase kwacho wo bankran mo White Cross Junction wo mo ne West African Deco Charles no ana e din hwe ne mo weja kaso main road no eso I don't pay for one more on 054 0504 203 401 0504 203 401 and after 0535 502499 now when Emma's Global Link Limited for the income and I'll pay one by Joseph. That's right. Dial star 256 star 2 hash star 256 star 2 hash. Now what's select option 2 no. Yeah, the address the kind of remember surely. Now I feel you need a winner no etimi Eddie come on. Opposing in a drone no a imbuster bar mister. And a pay boosty immune system no now one show cumbra with the Kutia ya rebia syphilis never bar a back clean away. Gonorrhea, pressure, stroke, waist pain, but your fatigue. Yeah, Jumaka Caribbean. Now what breaking in no immune system no a weaker. We I na tabe pa imbus to know in kwan between na no say at the amount but your herbal shop will be across the country and opay will be near the ewo for 0246 208496 0246 208496 na one imbus to ba Mr. Phone in come on pay na obey sorted pa beautiful song. But St. Louis local rice here. If you be here, Ghana more I to your boy say a song. A perfume scented rice, but your Ghana hair and your dear and the packaging a nice to say the annuncio no etiana. Would dear come on one see and say, but your Nadu be brave, let me the son and your Busiano, a dinning cracker, the woman so a dose of her, and tea and pay. Bushia if you be here St. Louis local rice. Now what you mean your restaurant operator and I say we event who do you me and man crop but your St. Louis local rice no enya wo guy ma enya mo a wo de be me and e fa mo ho nyina and pay you subia one kasa be there as later on so wo pe mo e be che e papa wo de ti ho and things you and say ade che so ade ti ade ti na still na e the quality there and pay as I say we use St. Louis local rice na me pacho se wo pe dodo mo tu atwa yo be ni nyina no ene se bra ye be mo abeye distributor kita 5100 and pay wo be sorted wo be distributor ye be mo no ne dodo mo na watimi akwakoton enya wo fa so ba and pay okbo rap come shops ahodo ni nyina mo a wo be nya bi memo shops ahodo ni nyina so ton bi eno achi no pe no dodo mo atu wo be ba and cry la pass wo mo any Eco Bank no eye adjacent e wo police container and chamber and pay for one more on 0546 2423 43 0546 242343 and after 0277 45 742 0277 45 742 na one St. Louis local rice in command of pay na unya St. Louis there but you e come nyina no afrique But dial star 256 star 2 hash star 256 star 2 hash. Now what's select option 2? Eclipse collateral management for see more money and more kaye. Say and okay, but your wood here again. Who a Japadie home crata a good Ashem pass ya check and now they are share kulak anymore. And okay, you need na fabra. Now one more the bay you no more to your commission. But your sassika a module. It's me bow my old free BB. I said to me bow my to your school fees. A ban chop money if you seek a year. Nina no eclipse ever sort out. One more than crata any year you mean na wabutuaka ewo and operation so we Japadie no obi amfani san every bia we hear we document and I won krata no one more the wadie e de beba I face say we tell you open loan e de free bank de and so we nin search ba bia collateral no oni bia anope oni Eclipse collateral management for edi nkoma one be ma bi na aboa ma so atimi aka wo loan no anope for one on 0266999020 0266999020 and after 0302551877 na when you money nkoma Abakan Street e wa Dental New Site and Crime aha ana obe hu wa mo adaroma anope wa mo aboa pa Kanisa Ventures for Roma, Kanisa Heba Mistrano, and would drama so I don't pay when you be no more. I dear be a yaw, I dear be a rea, and the yaw, and your how I beto Subiano. To us here, compare Edema. Kanisa and Rono, and Heba shops in your name. I don't pay so open the door to other cottage chiman. 10 taxi rank, your Kanisa Heba shop, and watching the baseline pharmacy be a winning more gun heavier. Ubenya be at all, no Kanisa for not into how Nina was say and Famao. For one more 0202990943 0202990943 and now for 0247887436 na one Kanisa for nim command of pain na wamundo into 2 yari ase prekope Edinburgh 22 gone past 9 and so as a papa fie pa a hard borders real estate for and a ton but you won crying in patemo ope asasia ube yo project no e was so e won cry there but on sasia ye papa man so twe bia ne na ya twenkane ni nsuo dia koso dia ma na o project no but ubenya bibia to e wo baby fa akọ hard borders real estate ukra 15,000 ekosi 30,000 depending on location I will pay ubenya 70 by 100 one plot and no I go pay between na your project no was so nenya wasum pa e ban architectural drawings and designs ye ho adwuma open blocks open bricks what the best show project no nyina ye tobi say ye be ye borehole e dia ma na wanya nsuo e dia ye wadwuma no nyina no ye ho adwuma your plumbing materials any building materials are iron rods any dia kika ho nyina and pay bra ashama ye opposite kakito junction na oni ye medin kombo for ye 0591 599 006 0591 599 006 and after 0241665200 now when they had borders real estate for any come and pay they are your future planners and pay boremo na one be boa pa na every pause you got na say na every pause
yeah, Kwame Juisu. Oh, no problem. My support interview. No.
Yeah.
Kwame many aje ho.
When you aje ho.
Many aje ho na Kwame Tiawa.
Meet
Vice President. Honestly speaking, Kwame.
Yeah.
Onke kan ho kakra.
Dr. Baumia.
Yes.
And they watch na.
Why yeah Duma as a vice president. And obey a flag bearer no Kwame. Appointment wa making na no any the speech you make here, the vision of the Babon was fantastic. But as for the running meeting, I said so Babon
China.
Because Kwame uriti me. Dedi kan. Me to CCI. Na me media me ubisa me. Say MPP for consult me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't choose a running mate from Ashanti region for them.
I see. Say ye kase.
Kwame.
One.
Western region is no good for NPP.
Okay.
Whether you like it or not. My feelings, my conviction, and what I have read there. This is not based on somebody's research.
Okay.
But me Ankasa as a newsman, as somebody more into current affairs. Somewhere yet ho any no me free ho ban.
Yeah.
It indicated clear that voter region, yes, Western region is no good for them. You choose a voter region, it wouldn't help you because they wouldn't vote and you wouldn't get that maybe 30% in the voter region. So you choose a running mate from there. Okay. You want what I say? Bono and Bono East is not good for NPP.
Bono
East not good for NPP. They have to work hard in order. Say if you can say Bono be lusua ebe close to gap. You understand? Send a beya entimi nye enkreti ayi bi ebetimi abo am. Kwame.
Yeah.
Greater Accra. Every election BIN or this country 8 elections. Obi Oba we need Greater Accra be win election. With the exception of last election we had 2020 and the MPP winning Elusu Greater Accra, but yet they won the election. Greater Accra hana yete hana memewo.
Yeah.
Kwame, it is not good for MPP at all. Honestly speaking. It is not good for MPP. So I was suspecting a Greater Accra running mate, which will make the people of Ga Adangwe and the other ethnic groups for the first time.
The minority groups,
Yes, the minority groups, for the first time, we are going to represent it, the presidency. Because since Fourth Republic, Ubianu free Greater Accra, Kwame, when you're running mate or
a candidate.
So choosing a Greater Accra, me for me, but party no stand say you choose a running mate from Ashanti region.
This is the reason. Vote.
Yes, this is the reason. One, Alan Chamate's factor is a Kahubi.
Okay.
Cheddar. Accra advance to Ashanti region.
And the new
send your youth to
the
yeah. Send your youth to the Kwame. The science is no good. Ultimately, we need Ashanti region. But Kakra, Ebia Kwame, or the back top up, I'm Ashanti Akosono. Obet me a drainy, and also bet me a certain percentage. What wouldn't good for you?
And only when need face appear ballot paper.
Ballot paper, that's why. And once I make a Kwame, they make what I say.
Yeah.
And no one me at some minor political parties be established for Ashanti region. Obit is to decay at Palu and the San Kofono.
Yeah.
So the party now decided say, Ombe choose a running mate from Ashanti region. And it being confirmed by first deputy speaker of parliament.
Yeah.
Joe Sewusu, double as the member of parliament or the friend say Bekwai. What confirm with the Ama Joy say, Joy News say, party say Ombe choose a running mate from Ashanti region.
Yeah.
The party women's organizer, Madame Tejefua, Echo Peace FM, also confirm say party decision, Abeki decision is been locked. Say they will choose a running mate from Ashanti region. Kwame, Sadia by such a by Kwansana Kwame Ekudi Brunia, Beboa. And the Nipa, yet choose woman, Omudia Babon say from Ashanti region, see and choose woman. Kwame. I clear Nipa bear sex, they are there. And the national security for Aqua research. The research is clear. Nipa Kwame, Utu the Ashanti will go hey. You understand? For people who feel say Nanadu Dan Kokufuado are disappointed people of Ashanti, this thing will compensate them. They will feel compensated. They know perfectly well say Nipa Yabubo Mudino. Kwame Yomuni na Kwamu do Obuko Josisia. The Ashanti people will feel compensated. They know. Party for no money. But omo ye and quad there one Kwame quad there one connection and Kofu pushing Kophobia. You know perfectly well say the power do ko Josisia and the assembly. And then what are you waiting for? Kwame.
Yeah, Nana.
What are you waiting for? Because it is creating an anxiety
and confusion.
Tension and chaos. Go to Kumasi right now. Go and see the tension between the Bosomto constituency and Mensah South constituency. Today, Chairman would to be actually the disciplinary committee of Ashanti region. MPP say, you invite the chairman of Mensah South, Tom Oforiata, to activate the Article 7 of MPP Constitution. Say, Abrantiano, I put party into disrepute. Public critical was that disrespecting the party chairman. It and now, 47 constituencies, Kwame, over 40 of them, party chairman, constituency chairman, are also backing Tonton.
And then the pressure and then ever.
It is bringing pressure, and all this things is because of the running mates. It is clear, Papa. It's some. What we are. I say what to damn Kwame.
Yeah.
We are cautious too much. You are quite choose your own pay. Maybe I don't have any problem with anybody. But Madame Premo Pare Kwame. The woman is not visible in Ashanti region. They know. They know Pa Kwame. Me na me catch you. When your agenda mo be they know. They know some I mean did see as a market is here. Ah? Ubisa ma 10. Say omuni ma go beka cho say ebube 8 beka cho so omuni.
Et on the popularity is an apesoka.
On the visible on the popular Ashanti region. She's not even famous. And it is clear. What are you waiting for? Woman about Greater Accra 1972. No politics in this one the BBI in Accra. And can why the BBI? You don't
NDC for no end disabusing that argument, Yana.
Check
by coming in with
who appointed we are now who say Jawu. Menam catch you. Check. Yakasa Ashanti region. Go choose to running made for Ashanti. And they say, Obia near oh for Ashanti region. Debbie. Maybe you be some Ashanti region. Kameka so to see Herbert Mensa.
Herbert Mensa.
I'm telling you, maybe be some Kameka so to see Herbert Mensa. Strategically.
What reason design?
Reason, baby. Herbert Mensa is still loved in Ashanti region because of Asante Kotoko. Herbert Mensa became popular in Ashanti region with Kotoko to the extent that politics and you Herbert Mensa as a Kotoko chief executive. I mean, I don't want to go there. But Nipa, aye almost Sisian, Joe Wise, Chairman Sabosu, Chief of Staff, Napo, Yawase Dutu. They know the person that can make Kumasi go hey. They know the person representing the grassroots. They know the one that Uchusuna Ghana for beer who say Awayane de ese Dr. Baumia Chusuno. They know. Oh, come. They say they know. And I don't have to mention it because Omo Yabo Mudi Nan, Obia Madam for I don't want to. But the quality about Kopo is a Chamako for the Obia will lose the seat primary level. Ready mate. Aha. They make what I say. I don't have anything against you.
Well, now would lose or primary.
Now the down Kufa will lose you. Well, you all lose the primary school, lose the ministerial appointment.
I know you're not the police, but may not be police.
Come. Ready mate, no.
It's about competence and what you bring on board.
Ready mate. It is the people that have built an empire for themselves, and their empire, no, it is not restricted in Ashanti region alone or their region alone. When you go to Volta region, when you go to Western region, when you go to Central region, they have people there representing them loud and clear. Our sponsor and Kofua, they are into what parliament, be a chief executive, be a deputy ministers. He on one kasanim, and they know. What are you waiting for? It is creating tension, unnecessary tension, anxiety, and all that.
And the doctor be boy when you know more.
SSA.
Very well. Now, I mean, you put this uncle to rest.
So that we can focus on the campaign messages, no? They make what I said. Kwame.
Very well. My main kind messages in Libya about na young fancy na young sorry so minute. Okay, my name me cash sports winner Andy and Combo. Hello, good morning, opinion.
Good morning, boss.
Na empomo to say.
Dr. Yamia Dimu, now sir.
Eradia to menso me ho ye pa. Anope we ni sika o Kessben so.
Aba.
Okay, now your friend say him for na OTA free.
Dr. Freme. Kuku na mekasa free kukumpi, tema kukumpi.
Your friend Koko o kasa free kukumpi.
Tema kukumpi.
Tema kukumpi. Okay, congratulations. Why?
Thank you.
It's Utie Radio and now here TV.
That's Utie Radio.
Utie Radio. Oh.
That's
okay. But that's it. Why? Congratulations. I don't Pentecost one at here. Why?
That's what I to make a first win.
And so that's it. I got you shower so. And your first winner no I don't know na more messages no ababe brain. I mean can be ansana ya sorry so akose Joe is coming up shortly. We say good morning Mr. Speaker. You are loud and clear at Akolozo Bar inside Amasaman, Hong Kong City. Mr. Speaker, no matter what the NDC members of parliament are doing to make the NPP government business come to a halt will not help and make Ghana a better place. We are not standing well as a country, and these things must not begin to happen. Thank you. Pakwesi Baden, all the way at the Abba. Thank you for a message. You know, I mean, Francis S. Send the way free Amenfi. Central, Anna Odebo. Say, good morning, please, Mr. Speaker. It is a fact that Nanado is a confused person, and based on this letter to Parliament, he has shown clear disrespect for institutions of our state. He must resign before December, else we shall vote for John Dramani Mahama. Francis Amiao, are you saying so? NPP ni the Nanado actually is that what you mean? This one says that, good morning, Speaker. Please, it is better to reward your loyal listeners, but I will humbly urge that your management to increase the current time and numbers so that we can actually have enough of your show. We come in with a lot of adverts, and then once it's time, you go off air just like that. Joseph Tano, thank you for message, duly acknowledged. This one says that, good morning, Speaker. What Nana Frimpong Ziga has said is right. I mean, the delays in selecting a running mate is not helping the party. It is rather brewing anger and pressure upon the candidate himself. Thank you. Let me do the final one, and then let's wrap it up. Sorry. So this one says that, good morning, Speaker. I'm a teacher of one of the secondary schools in Kumasi, and especially dining hall master. What we know, some students don't eat from the dining hall. They eat from their chop boxes. Reasons being that they want to taste. They want the food to taste like what they receive in their homes. And there is no money as well in those schools. Parents are not supposed to pay anything, and this has become a challenge for most of the schools in the Ashanti region. Okay, Mickey Kumasi, you sent in that one. Thank you for a message. What the about now? Say you can say teachers in the strike. Teacher unions bear me and say eco strike. We must have conditions of service. And a buying so. Etete wa musika for one teacher one laptop say ye ka say omo laptops na ma wa musika nso akwa kem enti wo mo adwalai pa wo mo eco strike, but no ochina e ba e bedi ho nkomo, because I don't know teacher unions no more serving notice yeti ya ne say pum almost almost strike. I mean, since when did this thing start to happen in this country? Ninyina no eyen komo. I mean,
what we say omo ye na underground. Na you go na metie empanifo no asade ne biye you. Em say mo date they were aware of it.
Okay.
Say 16 year omo de gu omo twa mu 10 no. Na 6 no em say na so say you ba omo antehwe. Kwame police ni bi tie ye fe ne can be. Owo dansoman na enra na bihia no Kwame. In fact nipa doye pa na obisa okra nipa doye pa na senya branch na sisi ado Kessben no baby obi a chiacha na pa na mama me science tie ye friend can be or dansoman police station.
Okay,
it's baby obi
na dakro ya besra no
ohana dakro ya besra
Dansoman police station. Police wa bo nyina no good morning. Why? Echia mo nyina. Na udim say commander eye ode no ho one. Unim commander.
Ode no ho one. Enyo ne na ma okay no oba na ma Dansoman police station. Every ni police station of the year.
Yes.
Africa. Oba na no.
I was here made us say Joy is up next with midfield action and to sports team but me and the Kwame Appiah Kubi, Mr. Speaker. I'm highly grateful for your time and okay. Stay true with Sir Joe at exactly 1 o'clock. News team ebeba na breaking news so etime atwa. So I don't any or Friday ebeba na watching mo dey nyina no ye dey see. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good morning. We are out.
Oni pada sani awon manwemu wo wi ase ha. Asama to nyonko na to baby ankemfa ho. Menso metene baby anka me pema yeden. Nanso wadoma nkoma bo ade ebo nipa bata nipa ho. Obi ada na nyonko. Yesu na yirasio. Obi a woni duma odidi bo a oman. Wokwa na ni kosi na fo wa yuku ni chechere ne ma. Obi ana ni koso ni ja. Obrechi ni kupodu fo eja wo mu anku ni maba. Agurana na wiri kwa ba. Akasa no makasa French wo bie na no awobo ajo. Asana na ho fedua woni bono so awira tete. Wokwa ne ba ne na sene ne ba. Ejo no bi no anta bie eja wo mu anami di asem. Asa shirina no pano wasa meja wo mu asuma diaba. Woduma nkoma oba ade ehye yense. Yenin sa woso eni je ni adrewo. Afe wunu